This is the Riot Podcast for Monday in the year of our quarantine, 2020.
Yeah, we got the details yesterday of the self-quarantine stuff should go until the end of April.
Well, okay. So, it's technically not quarantine. It's that stay-at-home thing.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Quarantine is when you
thing.
actually get sick.
Yes.
Which we haven't. So, that's something.
But the self-distancing or the physical distancing is what should be until, the end of the month.
Yeah, so stay physically distant, but be present with us. I will tell you, in addition to this podcast, Nikki and I are about to go live on Facebook. So we're doing that.
We are. We're going to do a cereal food fight. So depending on when you're listening to this podcast, that should be up if you want to watch later. Maybe you have a little free extra time. You can join us at RadioU or RadioU Riot. On both of our Facebook pages, it'll be up there.
All right. So today in the podcast, we talk about the 30 more days.
30 more days.
Subscription boxes, free Taco Bell, spring break, but Dad says you're not coming home. Mm-hmm. A special discovery that we made in our quarantine. Amazon delivery guys, 3 months is never actually free. And the video game Nikki discovered over the weekend.
Just, some fun stuff to help fill the time.
Some whittle stuff. No biggie. So you guys enjoyed today's podcast?
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I had this weekend some coffee that was from, not Wakanda, because Wakanda's not real.
Was it some other place, though?
But it was a place in Africa that the name, I was like, it wasn't Wakanda.
Gotcha.
But it was something else. And I'll tell you, it was a place I'd never heard of before. So I was talking to my friend, and she told me that she subscribes to a Coffee of the Month club.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a gift from a family member.
That sounds like a great idea.
We've
talked about that before.
Doesn't that sound like a great idea?
Someone had sent us a snack box gift set for a few months, and we talked about, I thought, around then how much a coffee one would do, wonders for you.
Each month you get, I'm just looking at one of these, you get 12 ounces of freshly roasted coffee, flavor notes, a postcard, and brewing tips.
That'd be great.
Though I will tell you, she showed me the bag and the postcard explaining hey, this is where it's from and blah, blah, blah. I said, we could do this for Tim Hortons. Be
make a postcard and stuff.
You could.
Brewing instructions.
You just put something on it where you're a young man from the Great White North
with hints of maple
had a vision that with hints of maple and blah, 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 he saw a fresh cup of coffee in every hand.
Now, I understand what you're saying, but I think the points of a monthly subscription box are supposed to give you some experience with some not-so-corporate coffee companies.
But it didn't start that way?
And to support some more, special coffee blends.
Okay, you can do half bag or single bag. Half bag is $9 a month. Single bag is $14 a month. And you can get it.
And you get one new one every month? Or
every month.
Every month a new coffee thing?
Yeah.
Good idea.
When it's just me, because I brew my own coffee. So at
you're
home,
not bringing that in.
At home. No, I'm not.
Is that your Saturday coffee?
Maybe. I do. Here's the thing. I have a little coffee, not every day, but most days on my way in. And that's my own thing.
Your pre-coffee?
It is. That's exactly what it is.
It's your pre-workout?
It's my pre-coffee coffee. It's a little coffee before the coffee.
Take the edge off, and then you come in, and then you make work coffee, and that's your workout one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
So the pre-workout, pre-coffee would be your special bag blend.
Man, you can select your roast type, a light to medium, select your ground type. Yeah, I'd let them grind it for me. It's fine. $14 for a bag of coffee.
Not bad.
But, Nikki, it's single source. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you may not know this, but you get a coffee blend. Okay, this would be single sourced. And, all right, well, I'll think about it.
Can you then order the coffee if you liked one? Yeah, can you order the blend that you like?
Yep, they said that up front, that you could just go through and order coffee if you wanted to. So
now, I don't know if this is just a staying at home talking. But we could maybe order some coffee.
Well, Nikki, it's I know it's early on a Monday, but maybe it's time for us to start, we don't get much now.
I know. You're like, well, I'd like something nice.
Every once in a while,
It'd be nice to get some coffee.
It'd be nice to get something different around here.
Maybe you can do that then.
Well, you know the rule. We're supposed to wait until after work to make any decisions.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
President Trump yesterday said, hey, remember how we were talking about, Easter?
Ew, no one wants to stop at Easter. Well, I think we all saw this one coming.
So they're saying to maintain the social distancing guidelines until April 30th.
We're supposed to use physical distancing now.
Right, that's right.
All
okay,
right.
I forgot.
Can we all change our terms?
Our physical distancing, because, Nikki, we need each other socially.
But physically, we're not supposed to be around each other.
So did you experience physical distancing this weekend?
Like someone distance when I was walking around or something. It went out. When I go out on a walk, people usually tend to be pretty good about it.
Yeah.
They're not maybe going to go walk in the middle of the road around me, but they're also not staying right next to you. So yeah, people I think are aware of it.
I don't know. I feel like people made it challenging for me yesterday. I was out walking around and I didn't know this. I was like, why are there all these people out? Is there going to be a parade or something? There was going to be a parade. In our neighborhood, they were doing that thing where the teachers drive through and wave at the kids.
Oh, I was like, we're not supposed to have parades. But I guess if they're in their cars, then that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, still maintaining their distancing.
Oh, that's cute that they would do that.
It was, but it turned into a
Awkward.
physical distancing obstacle course as I was trying to.
You're like, I'm just here trying to get a run in, guys.
Yeah, no, just a walk. Even.
Oh, just a walk in.
Nothing quite so fancy, I'm afraid.
But there's been a lot of people out. At least every time I look outside my window, there's 2 or 3 groups of people walking around.
Yeah. So, that's the president has asked that to go until April 30th, which means that if you were counting on going back to school in the middle of April, sounds like that's...
I don't think that's possible at
maybe
this point.
No one was counting on it.
Well, hoping, dreaming, they want to go back to school, but I don't feel like that's going to happen.
Well, I remember hearing, now keep in mind this was only 2 weeks ago, which feels like 200 years. And they were like...
Because we have no days.
Right.
There's nothing to break things up.
So I remember hearing, they're like, yeah, we're going to do... school will reopen on, I think it was April 20th. This one school in my area. And I was like, April 20th?
Now that's not even going to happen.
Are you guys out of your minds? And now the president's like, I don't know. Maybe we'll keep the country shut up till April 30th. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm just hoping by maybe then May things will go a little bit more back to normal. But this is very important. So, physical distancing is important and has, I believe, proven to be effective.
It's the new hotness now.
It is.
It's the new
remember,
hotness.
We're not supposed to say social distancing. It's just physical one.
It feels right that we would come up with a way that we're not supposed to say it.
Way to ruin that too, guys.
I mean,
we got it wrong.
Wouldn't it be a real shame if there was something that we were allowed to say? It's like whatever we come, nope, not that. Say it this way. Pretty soon, physical distancing is going to turn into no. Spiritual distancing.
Well, no, we're allowed to be as close to each other as we want spiritually. It's just physically we can't.
At some point in
It'll
the middle
change.
of this, we're going to have to change it again. Somebody's going to come up with a reason why that's wrong. It'll be like, no, it's physical non-proximitying.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Remember last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and then last week again, the toilet liquor on Instagram?
There's been a couple, but this was the girl one, right?
Yeah, this was the girl. So apparently, and this just sounds made up again to me, toilet liquor girl ended up on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Then we found out that she'd been on Dr. Phil 4 times across 2 years.
Because this is her trying to become TikTok famous, and she did this to try to get attention.
She did. So she says now that her coronavirus challenge was, in fact, staged.
It was on a private plane.
It was on a private plane where she had bleached the seat. Also not good.
Well, she disinfected it.
It was
cleaned ahead of time.
She said it was her sugar daddy's plane. I don't know.
Is it even worse? Yuck.
I don't know.
Oh, boy. You really just need to sit her down and have a talk.
Well, Dr. Phil's done that 4 times over the last 2 years, Nikki.
Oh, you're right.
It's not working.
I meant about the sugar daddy part. That was a whole other layer we weren't aware of.
Dr. Phil's just like,
he's a professional.
He's a professional.
It's not going to work if we try it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she says, look, it's not real. It's not. It was just a fake toy. And then but she didn't like the fact that the coronavirus gives more attention than she was. And so she's still saying that.
Yeah, she still says that the coronavirus is it's what people are talking about and not her.
Yeah. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. And maybe we'll just go ahead and talk about it. But if you have any stunts planned in this time, this is not a good time for stunting.
Well, it's hard because you got a lot of downtime, don't you? I feel like she does. I don't know if she has essential work or anything along those lines, but I feel like she's got some extra time.
Probably.
And that's when problems can come up.
You know what? You're right. Idle hands are Nikki's playthings.
I don't think that's how that goes.
That's not it.
It's just a warning. You're just supposed to lay low and not do anything.
Yeah, actually, if you want, in a couple of minutes, I have another example of somebody that was using their time where I think they're just getting bored, and this is an opportunity for them to really surge forward as an influencer.
But you're supposed to be bored and separated from people so you don't get together and come up with these bad ideas.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm sure that the police will be very understanding in this case.
So what is there, though? Like, she can't get in trouble, can she?
No, she's fine.
Okay.
But I'll just tell you that, for her, she just made the riot one more time. Good for her.
Are you lying about everything else?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think you are.
Maybe. What day is it?
I know, it's very hard to believe her.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on RadioU.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty good at saying the right thing at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a talent?
I'm pretty good at not letting it go, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that all being said, even I sometimes know the boundaries and when not to cross them. And it's tough because if you're somebody that likes to make jokes, you find yourself in circumstances where there's a real obvious joke that you'd really like to make.
But it's not the right time.
And sometimes you're not reading the room, as they say.
It comes out and you just can't help yourself.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to help us as a people read the room. Now is not going to be a great time for physical comedy in public spaces regarding the food supply.
No, we should not do that.
So just a heads up. That's something Margaret probably needed me to tell her last week instead of today.
Was she the grocery store lady?
She's the grocery store lady.
I saw her trending. She made a big mistake.
She's out there fake coughing.
All over the food.
She came in and she's like, I'm sick. So she coughed on what, according to this store, is $35,000 worth of products.
Well, she was in the grocery store and just went ham. She just went everywhere.
Yes.
And what are you supposed to do as the grocery store at that point?
They have to get rid of the food.
So does she have to pay for it all, or?
Well, we don't know. Is there
insurance for this, or what?
Criminal proceedings that are going to take place. She got arrested.
Yeah, she should.
And what happens next for her and that, I don't know. Let's see. Here's what the store's co-owner says. I'm sick to my stomach about the loss of food. While it's always a shame when food is wasted, in these times when so many people are worried about the security of the food supply, it's even more disturbing. We don't know yet what's going to happen, but they had to think about this. Not only did they have to get rid of all that food, but they had to deep clean and scrub the place. And she is being tested for COVID-19.
Just to make sure.
But we don't know yet if she had it.
Way to ruin it. Just really,
actually ruin it.
Absolutely way to ruin it all.
Actually ruin it. So great job, everybody.
So did she say she was intoxicated or anything? Or was she just...
I don't know if she was. She wanted to be. because she also tried to steal a 12-pack of beer. So what? Like she was
going in there with a plan.
She had definitely signed a letter of intent to get, a little tipsy.
It'd be similar to like if you said, oh, you have the virus and you went around just to bother people or something, but you didn't. That's the same thing. It's a hoax. You're not allowed to do that. But because of the severity of it, you'll get arrested.
It's bad. It's bad.
That's the light way of putting it, yes.
So you know what, Nikki? We're just here as a community service letting you know this is what not to do. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
And you're not supposed to go to the store unless you really need the essentials. And it didn't seem like she was going in for essentials.
Well,
beer doesn't count.
She was trying to steal beer. I mean, that seems...
supposed to go in to buy the essentials, not steal things.
Okay, well, you only just now said
we're
that.
Saying that.
Well, now we're responsible for that.
You're not supposed to steal.
Until that point, you can't hold her accountable for that.
You're right, I guess.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
Over the weekend, I saw that new hit movie, Underwater.
Which one?
With Kristen Stewart.
Which one's that?
That was the one that came out in January and made approximately $3.
Oh, yes. Okay, I remember that one. Why did you watch that one?
You know what? Here's what's really sad. It's pretty good.
Is it? Well, is it pretty good because you're staying at homing? Or is it pretty good? Here's
the thing. I think you have to divide the movie in half. There's the first 45 minutes and the last 45. The last 45, things go, it's a bit much, okay? But the first 45 minutes, I actually thought it was fantastic.
Oh, really?
Because, they do... what's really interesting about it is underwater horror is kind of this genre that I have watched forever and liked. I don't know why. Leviathan, Deep Star 6, The Abyss, on and on. So this is kind of one of those movies, and it deals heavily in the tropes that you find in those movies. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, those movies start with let's take 30 minutes to get to know our plucky crew. And then, right?
No, that's true.
This movie does none of that.
Sure.
All of its storytelling, all of its world building and setting and character moments, they're almost completely done kind of in world. And the movie starts with her brushing her teeth, and then it just...
It starts?
There's no wait, no line.
Well, spoiler
nothing.
now. Now I won't know if I were to watch it.
I don't think anybody's watching it.
But then at the last 45 minutes is when it's not so good, though.
Well, it takes a turn, and it's not bad. It's just a little bit I couldn't decide if I was no, all right, or if it was okay.
So is that one of the early releases or the video on demand rentals? Do they count that still in theaters or?
No, it's not. It's just out there. So.
Out there, or
lots of different ways.
Where's this thing at?
So they, let's see. What did it get on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know. It reviewed okay. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got to watch something then.
I really enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't.
Sure. Well, you don't have to follow the crowd.
But you know what? I think that's probably why I liked it.
Sure.
And here I'm even going to say something this is controversial. Kristen Stewart was really good in it.
Now, hang on.
She was.
I don't think a lot of people like her style of acting. I think that's probably why they wouldn't even give it a chance.
This is that movie that they made 3 years ago.
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah, and then it got pushed back, and then they wanted it to come after Charlie's Angels.
Because she was going to be a big star after that.
They thought that was kind of, get her name out there even more, and then they'd want to go see this, but Charlie's Angels didn't do anything.
It tanked, and then Underwater was the tank.
Was the tank following the tank?
Yeah. So. Well,
good. Well, I'm glad you found a movie you liked over the weekend.
I did. I'm not saying everybody's going to. In fact, the fact that I like it should probably be enough for you guys not to watch it.
No one else is offering to watch it, I don't think. But you at least did us a favor to tell us what you thought about it, so we can confirm we probably won't watch it.
I liked it.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
There's a major health threat in this country, and it's something that we need to wake up to the realities of and realize that we are not taking enough steps to avoid it. I'm, of course, talking about the free food that Taco Bell is going to be giving away tomorrow.
So tomorrow is the day. They're doing a drive-through promotion for the free nacho cheese Doritos Locos Tacos.
Okay, so what is that?
So basically tomorrow you can go and get a free one. Obviously, Taco Bell's, well, most places you're not allowed to go inside anymore.
Right.
So you have to go through the drive-through, and you can try the new one out.
What's so different about it? It's a nacho, like... Is it new, or is it just one of those?
I think they're just giving it to you.
Okay.
So that's just the promotion for tomorrow.
All right. You ever had a nacho cheese Doritos Locos Tacos?
I'm not into Taco Bell's tacos. I like the thing that's wrapped around to look like, is it the hexagon or something? The crunch wrap? That thing. I think that's good.
So isn't that like a cooked burrito or whatever? Like they've browned it?
I don't know. It's got a couple layers of stuff in it. And I like it that way. But I don't usually go to Taco Bell and get an actual, like a small taco.
Okay. Their tacos would be something I would eat. And the Doritos tacos are pretty good.
Well, tomorrow's the day.
Yeah.
If you want a nacho cheese Doritos Locos Tacos.
I'll just tell you this, though. Like, your roommates aren't going to be happy about it. The flip side to it is that, you know, you've probably already got a lot of plastic at home and a lot of disinfectant. So go ahead and eat that Taco Bell. And you might want to, before you get in, you put the water bottles in the bathroom. You put the plastic on the floor. And then
cleanse.
You know, a couple of buckets in there. You've already got some gloves. Hey, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Everybody's already gained the quarantine 25. So at this point, you got to cleanse your way down.
Oh, Nikki, anything that you've been eating you shouldn't be, this is going to scrub you clean.
It'll just take care of it. The only thing I feel bad about when I read about this is I have gone through the drive-thru a couple of places since the drive-thru is the only option thing has started.
Yes.
And I don't feel like they have the same amount of employees. They must have scaled back because they don't have the same number of people coming in or just going through the drive-thru.
Sure.
So to have a promotion, I really hope Taco Bell recognizes they can't just leave that all on a few employees if a lot of people take advantage of it.
Well, Nikki, I don't know what your experiences with Taco Bell have been like, but mine has been well managed.
Well, I don't think you're being serious.
You always get the feeling that there's somebody that takes their job very seriously, just beyond reach.
Well, I can see that they've been hired. Like
making sure that quality standards are met.
The one we go to is actually pretty good. Not when you'd go in, but
by Taco Bell standards.
Yeah,
sure.
But Taco Bell standards are actually pretty good. But they always seem to be one or two employees shy of a full crew. And they're always having signs up that say now hiring.
Is that a euphemism?
No, like they really are. And now that I'm sure they've scaled back even more, I just feel bad for the employees if everybody goes and tries to get their free taco tomorrow.
Is she okay? I think she's one or two employees short of a full crew.
No, I just mean actual numbers.
Sure you do.
Of course I do.
Sure you do.
So that's tomorrow. If you want one free one, no purchase necessary, but it is tomorrow only through drive-thrus.
All right. That's exciting.
You going to go get it?
No.
Seems like a lot of work just for one taco. They want you to buy other stuff.
Well, of course.
That's why they're having it.
Because nobody just wants a taco.
Well, that's when you go get them and you actually just go and get one taco. That's all you want to order?
Yes. Don't you want something to drink?
No. Water.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
You guys know the deal. Spring break came up. You were like, you know what? Party!
No.
I ain't letting nobody take my spring break away from me. If I get it, I get it.
And that's not what we're supposed to do.
That video certainly made the rounds, didn't it? Like everybody in that video, the one guy released like a 400-page apology. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know, people really wouldn't leave him alone.
Yeah. So that was a very public one. But how about this? The story of Matt and Pete Levine. Peter is 52. Mm-hmm. His son, Matt, is 21. And Peter said to Matt, do not go on spring break.
You can't see Obie's finger point, but I'm sure there was pointing during that.
Do not go. You come home and you're going to get set up because we are going to be basically quarantined as a family. You need to come home. And Matt was like, shut up, old man.
Now,
I do what I want.
That is something Obi's adding to the story. We don't know if that was the exact conversation, but it probably went something along those lines.
It's a recreation, okay, of my imagination of what this conversation went.
Well, basically, he went to spring break, though, against his father's wishes.
Yeah. So his dad was just like, look, your grandparents live with us.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Oh, that really makes it actually something.
It is too dangerous for you to do this.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I'm going to South Padre.
Way to be selfish. Come on.
Do you know what Padre is? Padre means father. I'm listening to my South father.
Yeah, but your grandparents are there, so he didn't get let back in.
So I love it. He got home and his dad was like, nope.
Good.
You're not coming in.
Good for him.
They said, here's some groceries and here's $300. Get out.
Good. He had to go find something else.
He had to go find somewhere else to stay and told him, you're out of luck.
See, a lot of that I saw over the weekend were trying to make the dad seem like, oh, look at this, but I didn't hear about the grandparents part, and that really makes sense. You can't go and do that and then come back and expect to come in.
It really does. Like, if you think about it.
You can pass something to them, and they can't fight it as well.
It's like, we're not doing this. So his dad's just like, see ya.
And how nice. He still gave him food and money.
Yeah, I mean, it is. He was portrayed as like locking. You have this image of this 21-year-old guy clawing at the windows like, Dad, please. And his dad's like, get out. You're not my son.
That's not at all how it was.
It's not exactly like that.
Well, nice for the dad to at least still give him something, but could we not have gone to spring break?
No. Apparently not.
I know we all want to go on spring break, and I know we're upset, and we're sad, and we're mad, and we're frustrated, but your grandparents are in your house. You got to stop.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't think I didn't have spring break plans, and now I want to go on spring break.
I know you really wanted to.
Like, I really want to go now.
I was watching a traveling show last night, like a travel Netflix thing, and it was the dumbest thing to watch because, man, I was like, I really want to go on vacation.
I need to go
on vacation, and there's no place to go.
I have to go to South Padre Island now.
So the guy has to wait at quarantine time?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So, and according to President Trump, whose ratings are way up, he
30 till April 30th.
Till April 30th. So this guy's Matt's got to do his own thing.
He should have to wait. Is it 17 or 21 days, or how many days it is, or is it 14 days? There's a quarantine time that you're supposed to wait. Like if you're traveling when you come back, if you don't have a fever, if you're not sick or showing signs by then you should be good to go back and join the family. But you got to wait.
You got to wait, Nikki. You got to wait. So, you know what? I hope it was all worth it, Matt. I hope it was.
Your family won't forget this for the rest of your life. You chose South Padre Island over your family.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, RadioU.
Nikki, have you made any wonderful discoveries about yourself or Eric or Netflix or anything in these 2 weeks?
During this time of staying at home?
I just feel like I keep hitting Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and then even articles where they're like, if it wasn't for this, I never would have discovered blank. And it's so wonderful.
I have discovered that when there's times of crisis, I actually do laundry, and that makes me feel good.
And
I didn't know that. I have washed everything in my house several times over. Things that I've never washed before. I was like,
for example?
I don't know, like every blanket, everything, even in closets. I just feel like everything needed a freshening up.
Okay, all right.
And that has made me feel better, just constantly doing laundry.
Okay.
And I hated laundry.
So you've just discovered the joy of cleaning things.
Just I must be saying something. I just wanted everything clean.
I will say that you and our jobs have a tendency to not involve physical items. Mm-hmm. They're more concepts. Like, did you get the thing done? Even if, like, let's say Nikki and we did a show. At the end of the day, what do we have to show for it? Not really anything. I mean, technically, we could play a recording for you or whatever, but it's not like every day Nikki and I are building a building and it's slowly getting bigger. And so I think sometimes, at least personally, I suffer from the psychological effect of not having anything to show for my work.
Yeah.
And so
when you do laundry, you're showing something.
Look at that.
Look at all that I've cleaned.
Look what I did. I did it, and now I can enjoy the satisfaction of the shirt I haven't worn in 5 years.
Is now
clean,
super clean.
and now it's back in the drawer.
So I don't know why, but I thought to myself the other day, I thought, well, this is what we're doing to cope, I guess.
Okay. Well, I think that you're probably waiting for me to tell you what I've discovered on my journey.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No, nothing.
Everything's the same?
No, I mean, I've been learning. I'm helping some people with an online stream. And so I've been finding out that I don't really know how to use Adobe After Effects.
That's the only thing, though?
That's a discovery I made.
Anyone who tries to learn that discovers that.
How's that?
Nothing more personal, like, I don't know what else there would be. Spring cleaning or... I see a lot of people outside working on stuff.
You know what? I've been journaling. Nothing.
Journaling? Nothing.
I've been reading a book by Andy Stanley called It's Where The Irresistible. Starts with an I.
Okay, so we've been doing that.
Doing that.
That about it?
No little discoveries about me, my environment, my world, whatever. Makes me a little sad.
Well, maybe it'll still come.
It hasn't happened yet.
Time.
It hasn't happened yet.
You have plenty of time during your physical isolation and stuff that you have plenty of time to still come up with something.
Well, I look forward to either blogging about it or talking about it here.
Because this is our outlet.
When I discover my big thing that I never would have found if it wasn't for the coronavirus quarantine. But it's coming. Don't worry.
Got plenty of time.
It's coming.
Feel free to text us or call us, 877-2-RADIO-U. And I guess what we have to show for each day is the show, which you can access anytime through our Worst of Riot podcast.
There you go. Look, we did something.
There it is. So that's available anytime you want on anything for podcasting, but also it's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at RadioU Riot, and it goes there every day.
Woohoo.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I take it all back. Me saying that I haven't found that magical thing in quarantine that I would have never found if it wasn't for quarantine.
You take it back? What did you think about?
I found it, guys. I got it. All right. If it were not for me getting ready for this show in social isolation, I may have never, ever found Trials on Demand.
Trials on Demand?
That's right.
Is it a new site?
Well, I don't know how new it is. And the other thing that I couldn't figure out is whether or not you have to pay for it. This is something that Court TV provides at courttv.com. You can go through Trials on Demand and find... you name it. Do you want to watch the O.J. Simpson trial from like 30 years ago? What about the one from 2008?
Oh, this is weird. You can watch all these?
You can watch these trials in their entirety.
Whoa.
Did you know Bill Cosby had a trial in 1994? I don't think it's about what you think it's about.
Oh, so it wasn't the more recent one?
No, this is 1994. You can watch all of it.
Have you started watching it, or?
Well,
that was a paparazzi harassment civil trial.
Yeah. So there you go.
Weird.
So, do you like watching court on TV?
Well, that is it's not a new thing, but for the last couple of years, people love like crime podcasts and then true crime shows and stuff. Yeah, I guess that actually would be something people would watch.
I mean, in fairness, the trial, it's not like, hey, they were in court for 8 hours that day. Here's 8 hours of footage. It's not that. But they are these kind of edited down. I mean, like, there's like 10 episodes of this that's just Bill Cosby versus the paparazzi. But
they're saying these are history's most compelling cases, Obi.
They would say that, wouldn't they?
Actually, they just try to pick. There's some compelling, like, really bad cases, but then they also just try to put in celebrities.
Yeah. So, do you...
I want this? Is this free or what?
Do you recognize any of these people?
No, I don't even know. Based on the description below, I don't think I've heard of these.
No, I mean, like, I recognize Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson, but that's all I got.
Some of these are from the 1990s, early 2000s.
See, Arizona versus Arias. Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that. Jody faced the death penalty for the murder of her boyfriend, Travis Alexander. We won't say anymore. Just
doesn't seem all very light, does it?
Well, you're stuck at home.
You just want to watch something.
Maybe you're a budding attorney. Maybe this is when you discover your love for the law.
But can you just watch it?
You can.
As is? Oh, I see. You can.
Sure can.
Well, if you guys want to fall down that hole, then Obi just showed you one.
Man, so just to be clear, when somebody asks me what I learned during this time, I learned that Court TV has a trials on demand feature.
That doesn't mean that's no, it's if you watched all of them.
Then I would learn something?
Then you would have this new thing that you like to watch.
I still feel like I've learned something.
No.
And you can't tell me that I haven't.
No, you got to get to watching them.
All right. What are you doing after the show?
That makes me sad to go in and watch all this stuff. I don't want to watch those.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
It is exciting in these times to see people pull together, to cheer each other on, to believe in each other. And even me, the common man, has my own opportunity at various forms of heroism as the day goes on. And we just want to say a big thank you to all the Amazon delivery people that are out there delivering our packages, spitting on them, rubbing the spit in, and then leaving a package at the door.
Oh, did someone catch that on their camera?
Thank you so much.
Oh, no. I didn't think
really
about
appreciate
that.
it.
You got to worry about someone spitting in your food and now spitting on your stuff.
Oh, it's real, Nikki.
So why did the person say they did it?
Well, we don't know why, because they still haven't found the person who did it. They're trying to figure it out right now. But, you got a Ring doorbell. So somebody walks up, the Ring doorbell kicks on.
Records
You get a recording of what happens. They find the guy spitting on the package, rubbing it in, and then setting the package down.
So do they think it was a just being rude sort of thing, or was he sick or making you feel like, is he sick and then spreading the virus on it? Or
I don't know.
I wonder what was his reasoning for it. I must understand. Why were you doing this?
You know what, Nikki?
I'll never know.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Some just want to be rude.
They just want to spit on your package.
I'm used to seeing mine where it's like they get close to the front door and then they just fling it and then take the picture. Like all in one. It's amazing to see how they do that.
Well, they're in a hurry.
And then they leave, but I didn't know they have enough time to even spit on it.
Depending on who you talk to, that either is a good or terrible job. I've heard both.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen people cry about it and other people praise it.
It's like everything else in the world. I can't get a straight answer. It's either the people who love it or hate it. Those people that are like, it's work. You never hear from them.
So if someone works at Amazon, maybe you let me know. Would you prefer to be a driver so you're out and you're just going to pick up packages and then drop them off, or someone who's actually in Amazon? Like, do they even do a lot of workers who are working inside?
I don't know.
Or is that all robots now?
But see, it depends too. Like, I've got friends that work in an Amazon warehouse and they're like, yeah, I don't know what all the media hype's about. This is actually a really good job. But then I hear from other people that are like, this is hell. I don't know. What is it?
Maybe that guy thinks it's bad, which is why he was spitting on it.
Yeah, maybe.
And does he spit on every package you get?
Does he? Maybe. He's got a ton of water bottles in the back. He has to keep the moisture up.
Let's not do this to each other, all right? You're not mad at the person you're delivering it to. You're mad at your company you're working for.
Maybe they are mad. Maybe as far as he's concerned, you ordering something from Amazon is the whole reason that he has to get out and deliver things.
Or maybe they've done something to annoy him. I don't know what it would be, but maybe.
Hey, could be anything.
You know what would be a nice thing? At Christmas time, it was popular to set out snacks and waters and stuff, but maybe you're not supposed to do that now with the virus.
Because then it would be like Corona.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you could, it'd be nice if you, because they're working so hard. I mean, they're doing a lot of deliveries.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know the non-essential thing I ordered for at the end of April?
Yeah.
It came already.
It came!
Oh my gosh!
It's a Corona miracle!
I was so worried about it.
Wow.
So that was just big news over the weekend. It was not supposed to be till the end of next month. And it came. It came.
So exciting. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It was a very important thing over the weekend, and I was just Very excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Now, this isn't everybody. I know some of you are studying from home. Some of you are working from home, but this is just one example. There's a company called Axos Financial Incorporated they sent out an email on Friday to their employees. They're like, hey, so you're working from home. We just want to let you know that we have remotely installed keyloggers, and we're keeping track of everything you're doing with your laptop.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that. I mean, I think they can do that, but...
Well, no, they say
Is it the company's laptop?
Yes.
Okay, then they can do that.
They can do that.
But if it was your laptop, they could not do that.
That is correct.
But since it's their property, yeah, I guess they could.
So they're basically saying, hey...
We're making sure we're working.
They say that the other thing the software is doing is taking a snapshot of your laptop every 10 minutes, randomly in the 10 minutes, so that at any point they can go back and take a look at what you've been doing during your work hours.
Sure.
Yikes.
Well, I know with like some Zoom classes, you can get away with setting up a decoy so maybe you could do that and move it. But if you're doing all this stuff just to get out of it, you might as well just go and sit down and do your work. Even if you're just sitting there.
Okay. I don't like where this is going.
Sorry.
I don't.
Well, why don't you just have your work laptop in front of you and then your home personal laptop next to you or your phone, and you could still be watching something.
Exactly what you just said.
It looks like you're working, but you're not.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, if you angle it just right, it looks like you're looking directly at the camera or whatever, but you're actually looking at something else.
Yeah, just put your phone. And I'm only saying this because sometimes depending on what your job is, it is not apples to apples. Your hours are not the same.
It's true.
You're going to have to space out your work to make it look like you're going to have to figure that out. It will be more work to make it look like you're working.
That's work I'm willing to do.
Than your actual work itself.
That's work I'm willing to do. I'll put the work in to avoid the work. Yeah.
As long as you just figure it out initially, then that'll lessen, and then you'll know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something, man. They're not really very trusting.
That's tough. I've worked from home a bit, and that's one of those things where, you do some work and then you
do some here, you do some there, and
you spread it out.
It all equals one lump sum at the end, it's not usually like you're sitting at a desk when you would be at work.
Right. So sometimes you have occasion to, I don't know, stretch out in the bed for a minute.
Take a little napsies.
As it were. Things along those lines.
Well, this company is not having that.
They will not have it.
So if you're working for this company, but yeah, since it's their laptop, they can do that. They'll be taking pictures every couple of minutes to make sure you're still there in case they need to go back and reference where you're working.
So I guess what I'm saying is if they ask if you want to take a laptop home or you want your own, you know what? If you can afford it, if you can make it happen, get your own.
But yeah, Zach texted. He said that's why you have your personal laptop or something besides your work laptop, and then you're good.
Man, I've been doing remote meetings for stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm totally paying attention.
Totally working right now.
Look at me. Look at me paying attention right now.
And I bet maybe they've had other employees that have burned them on that, and ruins it for everybody.
Some of the most ethical people I know will put more work into getting out of work. Let me see. The most seemingly ethical people I know.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I did a dumb thing. Wouldn't be the first. Won't be the last. This is how far-reaching this is. Are you ready for this? Back at Christmas. Mm-hmm. You guys remember Christmas,
Yeah, I remember Christmas. Oh, remember those times?
Remember that one time that you got together with people?
You got to eat out.
Remember that?
Oh, boy.
You guys remember that? I remember it.
All right, well, what happened?
Just let it sit for a minute.
Just bask in it.
Just give it a minute. Okay, it was, I believe, December 29th. Mm-hmm. A couple days after Christmas. I was looking at buying a new like personal, like Google Home Mini kind of thing. I wanted to put it in my basement where I keep the video games.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to get it. I'll get that. So I saw a thing where they're like, hey, 3 free months of Spotify plus Google Home Mini. Or no, that's not what it was. It was 3 months for $5. Mm-hmm. You get a free Google Home Mini. And I was like, wow, that's fantastic. So I went ahead and I signed up. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, we're all out now. But as soon as we get them, we're going to send you one.
So you never got your Google Home Mini?
Never. And guess what else I got?
What else did you get?
Well.
Oh, did you not cancel?
I forgot to cancel. Which is why I know. That's why I know the date. Because today is March 30th.
Oh, no.
And last night I got an email letting me know that Spotify had gone ahead and charged me for my next month. And I was like,
yay!
Spotify? What Spotify? Oh, gosh.
And you still haven't gotten your Mini from that.
No. And they're like, why are you canceling? And that's what I sent them. I never got the free Google Home Mini I was promised. And so
did you have to pay the $5 each month, though?
No. It was just $5 one time for 3 months, which is how I forgot.
Yeah, that's a sneaky one.
Oh, it got me.
Well, do you think you'll still get it from Google? Or?
No, they're never sent. That is never happening.
Maybe it's not a priority thing right now, and so they're They're not going to send it to you.
Like, we had these all ready to ship out.
No, they'd use it
with all of the new guidelines and rules. Oh, we just don't feel that we can. But one day when you forget, we'll send it to you.
We'll send it to you.
Yeah,
years from now, when you're long gone.
The thing is, we can't send it to you until you forget.
Aww.
So if you could just go ahead and forget,
then we'll send it out to you.
Then we'll send it.
Now they'll send it to you when they have the new one, and then they're sending you the old one.
Okay, they're on Gen 5. Here's a Gen 1. Now, it doesn't get updates, and it doesn't work anymore.
But it's free.
But technically, we fulfilled our obligation.
So was that a deal through Spotify or through Google?
It was through Spotify.
Through Spotify. Did you ask Spotify? Like, what do they say?
I don't know.
You don't care? It seems like you don't care anymore. You spent $5, and it seems like you don't care.
It was, what, I just gave up. And at some point, I bought
That's what they expect you to do.
I know.
That's why they haven't sent you anything.
I don't
give
care.
up.
Yes. I'm giving up.
Why don't you contact them?
Because I just went ahead and bought a freaking Fire Cube with a gift certificate and reward certificate.
It's the principle of it. You could get the little thing and give it away or something.
No.
You don't want to contact Spotify?
I've already been burned. All that's going to happen is I'll end up in this conversation where it suddenly seems like a great idea to resubscribe so they can send me 2 of them.
And you won't get anything.
And then I still won't get anything.
Well, I just want to tell you that this is disappointing because this teaches them nothing then.
Well, it taught me something.
There's no accountability.
Never sign up like this again. I even thought when I did it, I was like, dude, don't. Don't. It'll never happen. It's not going to work the way you want it to, and you're going to end up getting caught. I was like, no, I won't.
Well, maybe
I'll cancel.
Maybe you should tell them because they're like, oh, Badiah, it shows we sent you one already. What if it didn't work out and something happened?
No.
And they think they sent it to you.
I'm done.
You're done with it.
Unless someone reads the comments I put on my I just canceled letter, which they won't.
We're not going to. No one's going to even care.
No, that's right.
Aww.
And you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, $5 for nothing.
I learned my lesson. Except I didn't.
Probably didn't even use the Spotify features during that time anyways.
Not once. Because I have YouTube Music, and so...
Get on there and complain.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
So, Nikki, I believe it was it like Friday night? I don't know. I got this text message from Nikki where she was like, I'm checking this out.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't catch the game when it came out last year.
She was pretty excited about it.
But I watched the trailer for it. It looked amazing because it was on sale.
Yeah.
I think it was like $3 something. So $4 for this game called Roombo First Blood. And it's a Roomba.
Such a great name.
It's a Roomba like the robot vacuum cleaner, but based off like Rambo First Blood.
Yeah.
And so I played it.
And?
Well, it's, to me, this is probably just my thing, because I had the same issue with the Bee Simulator game I spent some money on a few months ago.
Yeah.
They're more independent games, and I feel like it's the play control that kind of really gets me annoyed, where you're like, here, to move Roombo, do these 8 simple steps, and it's not as...
intuitive?
Yeah, as like when you would play a larger scale game where they're like, we'll do this one button. And it doesn't make sense why they kind of set it up that way. Mm-hmm. But it had a very independent game feel with playing
Which it probably was.
Though the idea and like the graphics, it was hilarious. Because basically you're a Roomba protecting the house, and robbers come in to steal stuff.
Yeah.
And basically you then go like all first blood on them, and you take items in the house to kill them, and then you clean up the blood afterwards. It's so bad. You know, we laugh at like wrong things. It's totally up that alley.
So the robot vacuum kills the burglars, who obviously had it coming, and then has to hide the bodies.
Yeah, because then they'll steal some valuables, and then say the guy will walk, or the person will walk through the doorway. So you put it in attack mode, and then the Roomba will take the door and like smash him, and then blood splatters. and then you have to get away from him so he doesn't come and kick you and destroy you. But then you got to go back and like clean up the blood, and then you have to keep doing it until he dies. That's the game. The end.
You know, here's what I think's really funny.
What?
Is people will look at something like Doom Eternal and be like, it's so violent.
It's the worst. You're like, no,
no, look at Nikki's game where the vacuum kills you.
But he cleans it up.
It's
different.
At least there's no mess.
It's totally different.
Oh my gosh. So
I just wished it was easier to maneuver around.
Yeah.
It just seemed a little overly complicated. But for $4, I might go back.
You know what? For $4. Why not?
The trailer's actually more entertaining than the whole game.
For $4.99, you could get 3 months of Spotify and a Google Home Mini.
To ignore.
No big deal.
So I don't know if anybody else has played it, but I missed it when it came out maybe last fall, and that was called Roombo First Blood.
You know what? I just went back to playing Forza Horizon over the weekend.
Oh, you did? That's been a while.
I played a ton of it.
That's because you can't go out driving around, can you? Too much. You just needed a car game.
Might be. I played 3 and 4, and I just kept playing. And you know what? Had a great time. I do love those fake racing games.
Well, this game, I wish it's one of those ones I wish I could just share with you. Like, I might bring the Switch in so you can play for a few. Yeah, you just need to see what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I'm game. The picture that you sent me made me laugh. For sure.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Well, there's a little kerfluffle taking place in the city of Charleston this week, and that is because there's a restaurant / bar.
It's rumors. It's like a wine bar.
Yeah. What's different between that and like...
Well, the difference is they didn't have these pizzas, I don't believe, on the menu until they are not able to go in and drink anymore in the wine bar.
Okay.
So they had to come up with a menu that people could come and then pick up or carry out.
Okay.
But they didn't have this at first.
Okay, so the idea is it's called Coquine. It's a, as Nikki said, a wine bar. They offer and I quote... gourmet Roman-style thin crust pizza with house-made marinara sauce and whole milk mozzarella.
And this became a new item for them on a carry-out menu, so they could still stay open during the quarantine stuff and have something to sell, since they couldn't do the drive-by wine thing.
So the argument, or at least a lot of people have been accusing them of selling this pizza, which they have, there's an all-cheese version, $18, or there is a cheese and meat version, which is $20. And they are saying that this is, in fact, a Costco frozen pizza that they are passing off as being their own pizza.
So they're saying it's the Kirkland cheese pizza. If you look at it, you can tell, like, it's not the one you would get in the food court area. It's the freezer one in the back.
Yeah. Now,
and it does look a lot like it.
The owner says... I don't know what you're talking about. It's definitely not Costco, and that's all I have to say.
Which means it's probably Costco.
These people, the Post and Courier, which is a local newspaper. They went out and asked the questions, and then they started digging around in the trash behind the restaurant. They found 5 boxes that would have been for these frozen pizzas. And his response was, look, there's a bunch of Airbnbs in the neighborhood.
No,
so in
maybe
other words,
someone else.
Someone else is throwing those away. That wasn't us.
It's kind of suspicious.
I'll tell you this, that what really gets me and what I love is, where is it? He said it was fresh pizza baked daily. Where did that go? Daggone it. I had it pulled up and then I started.
Kind of the wording that they're saying with it.
Here we go. Fresh pizza, oven baked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I used to work for a farm market, and I can tell you that we used to sell fresh baked pies every day. We sold them like at Thanksgiving and at a point in October. They would sell thousands and thousands of these pies. People would come and line up like around the building
for them
to get their fresh baked pie from our place.
Now, what does fresh baked actually say to you, though?
I'll tell you exactly what it says. Those fresh baked pies were frozen. They would bring the pie truck in late at night when the business was closed and everyone was gone, and then we would unload those frozen pies into this freezer. Then those frozen pies would make their way out on these trays, but you would never see the boxes. And we're made to be very careful where the boxes went. And they would sell those pies for anywhere between $6 and $10 a piece.
Technically, they're not lying. They're freshly baked.
Never. And if somebody would ask, we were instructed, like if somebody said, hey, are these homemade, blah, 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 whatever pies? Your answer was always to be, Mildred bakes those pies fresh every day. You don't lie.
You're just not saying.
You just don't say.
Yeah. So for this,
there in my freshman year of high school, I got my first introduction to politics.
Well, it's not weird for a restaurant to have frozen food items, but it's stuff that they make.
Right.
And here they were trying to make it seem like these were made in-house when people are now suspecting that, no, what they're selling for such a high markup is actually just Costco frozen pizzas.
What Nikki and I are trying to tell you is that if you end up in a place where you start looking at the words and you start picking the words apart,
you're going to be disappointed.
And you're like, no, that's not true. It is true.
Could be true.
And you figured it out.
And never pay $18 for that small pizza because they come for like 3 for $10 at Costco.
Go to Costco, get them cheap. And if you want to dress up a frozen pizza, you put a little bit of your own cheese, you sprinkle on there, a little bit of your own whatever. You'd actually be surprised how good that can get.
How good it can get. A little pizza stone makes a difference, makes it crispy, but you're buying something that is not technically true.
Oh.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
We're attention whores.